service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily is a service of CNC News and Jib Jab Greetings. I'm Bud Lowell. Find the AccuWeather forecast right across the top of this and all your CNC local news pages. The Monroe County Legislature has approved a resolution, essentially a letter opposing the New York SAFE Act and asking for its repeal. Monroe is the 44th of New York's 62 counties to approve some sort of resolution in opposition to the tougher state gun control law. All 19 members of the Republican Party majority and County Executive Maggie Brooks have signed the resolution. Legislature Majority Leader Anthony Daniele said this will be filed Wednesday evening with the New York State Legislature at the end of business. Democratic lawmakers who want to sign it have until then to do so, and Daniele said he believes at least one of them will. Democrats did not comment or post comments online. The county legislature's resolution was less than many New York SAFE Act opponents were hoping for. The Monroe County Residents Against the SAFE Act Facebook page described the resolution as amounting to a letter to the governor rather than an official stand by county government demanding repeal of the law. Some people spoke before the legislature meeting in favor of New York SAFE, but the county building was packed with Second Amendment advocates demanding it be repealed. The law bans further sale of military-styled automatic rifles and shotguns in New York, also possession of ammunition magazines that will hold more than 7 rounds. The right to keep and bear arms advocates see that as a plain violation of their constitutional rights. West Webster firefighter Ted Scardino told members of Congress Tuesday that putting a gun into the hand of a person who can't legally buy one has got to be stopped. Scardino was invited before the House Gun Violence Prevention Task Force to speak in support of the Gun Trafficking Prevention Act.
I've been a volunteer for 16 years. I'm going to tell you how this community was forever changed by a senseless act of violence with a gun that should not have been in the hands of the person who committed the act.
This would make firearms trafficking a federal crime. It would also impose much stronger penalties on straw purchasers, people who buy guns for convicted felons and others who are prohibited from buying them on their own. Convicted felon William Spangler shot down Scardino and 3 other West Webster firefighters on December 24th. Spangler got 2 of the 3 guns he used, at least 2 of them, by convincing a 23-year-old neighbor to buy them. 2 of the firefighters were killed by shots from those guns. Scardino and firefighter Joseph Hofstetter were wounded, and they're undergoing rehab for their injuries. Scardino said Spangler should never have been released from prison 18 years after murdering his grandmother, let alone have been able to get his hands on guns. He said a stiff prison term will be a good deterrent for people who make straw purchases. He urged them to pass the bill quickly. Scardino was introduced by Congresswoman Louise Slaughter. Investigators in the city of Rochester are looking into what caused a house fire late Tuesday night on Tremont Street. Nobody was home when it started on the first floor and spread to the rest of the house. The building was heavily damaged. In Genesee County, the Bethany Fire Department is investigating how a barn caught fire on Route 20 early Wednesday morning. Firefighters got there, found one side of the barn in flames. After some initial difficulty getting access to water, they got the fire out quickly with the aid of several other departments. And again, fortunately, nobody was hurt. A 31-year-old Victor man is in the Ontario County Jail after Monday's 12-hour standoff in the village. Ryan Whidden was arraigned in Canandaigua yesterday on a charge of criminal possession of a weapon. The Ontario County Sheriff's Office said Whidden had a handgun without having a pistol permit. Whidden allegedly fired 3 shots into parked cars in his driveway. Then he barricaded himself in his home on Ketchum Street along with his wife. After trying all day to get him out, a SWAT team finally fired tear gas into the house. The incident forced the Victor schools into lock-in mode, and Whidden's neighbors had to be evacuated for the day. Deputies say more charges are pending against Whidden, including possibly reckless endangerment. He's being held on $250,000 bail. Tickets go on sale Friday for the High Falls Film Festival. The festival runs Thursday, April 18th to Sunday, April 21st. Concludes with the 2 Best of the Fest films as voted by the audiences. More than 50 films and special events are on the schedule. Now, this festival celebrates women in the film industry, especially in the capacity of directors, writers, and producers. You can find out more at highfallsfilmfestival.com. And one more thing. We learned this week of the passing of Mr. Rick Woodson, sports writer, talk host, columnist, good old boy from Louisiana who made a home like many of us who were born down south here in Rochester. Rick was on the Old Times Union in Rochester when some of us at WXXI AM came up with the idea for a sports talk show. And we worked with him. He hosted that. We had a blast doing it. Nobody ever had a bad word to say about Mr. Woodson. And he is probably right now interviewing God, seeing his feelings on the Buffalo Bills draft picks, and probably telling a few good stories. He will be greatly missed in this community, and our condolences are with his family. To the left of the player window are links to these and other stories, and at the bottom of the page, links you can use to post news and information directly to us. We welcome your contributions. Next news is as it happens. Updates are as necessary, and what you share can help be the judge of that. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.